So, welcome back to my friends to the old Fishing Fiend channel. I think we're on episode 8 now, and just for the time being I'm going to stay a little bit closer to home. And this here, I'll just set up, look at that, there we go, is the closest river swim, or the river peg, the closest peg to my house, on the River Irwell at Agecroft. So, I've just nipped out for an hour because I got to pick the kids up from school at 3:15. I've just nipped out for an hour. I've got some worms, some liquidised bread. I'm fishing a feeder rig like that. Hang on, that feeder rig with Drennan micro barbed specimen hooks and pinkies. So I've got a worm on the hook and I've filled the feeder up with pinkies and liquidised bread, and I've just lobbed it out into the middle because, very sad to tell you, I have never ever in my life, and I've lived there for 15 years, I've never fished this swim. I've fished swims downstream of the bridge, I've fished swims upstream of the bridge, I've never ever actually fished the bridge swim. So I just thought, do you know, look at that lovely day, because that's me. I just thought, do you know what, sod it, let's see what happens. I'll give it a couple of sessions on here and we'll see how I get on. Obviously it's still February, it's freezing even though the sun's out. I think it's 6, it was -3 last night, -2 when I took the kids, when I looked at the thermometer in the car this morning when I took daughters to school, and it's about +4, +5 now, even though it's a lovely sunny day. So I don't hold out hope, but as the phrase goes, you've got to be in it to win it, don't you? So I've brought my sea fishing I don't know, I'm getting madder in my old age. I brought my sea fishing tripod. I'm fishing Shakespeare Agility drop shot rod, 15-pound line, 8-pound hook length, because there are big fish here, and I've got not got a clue what I can catch. Normally when I fish on the Irwell I tend to catch brown trout, which I don't think I will in here in this slower pool, because I have heard there's some nice chub at roach, bream, and the occasional carp has been caught on this swim. But I don't really think I fancy my chances for a carp at this time of the year, but it's good to know sometimes where they are. So look at that, it's a lovely architecture, that bridge, isn't it? Anyway, I'm glad you can join me, and I'm not going to do too much talking, and if I catch anything I'll bring you back in. But look at that, isn't it fantastic? What a lovely day for February. The Manchester monsoon season is well and truly over. Yeah, I've come out to the pond next to the motorway again today. You can obviously see in the background all the traffic going past. It's only 50 yards away, so it's noisy, so I'm not going to do too much filming here. But this is the lake that's 25 minutes walk from home. I can always catch a silver or two in winter, so you can knock on the head and then take to a different lake and use as live bait, which is what I'm going to do. So basically it's a rerun of the last video, but I intend to do things a little bit better. And a better rig with a smaller hook, which is here. Hang on 1 second. There we go. A better rig with a size 22 hook on. Pinkies instead of maggots. A tiny amount of micro pellets, which will stop me overfeeding. 5 metre whip, landing net. Dear me. See, that's going to get cut. And I'm going to fish about, let's say, 5 metres out, just there in front of me, to the side of that weed bed, and hopefully spend 2 hours and catch half a dozen dead baits, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the afternoon on Drinkwater Park. And there's my other friend Phil. I've got more than one Phil friend. In fact, I've got lots of Phil friends, and he's just started as well and fishing till 1 o'clock. It wasn't arranged, but we often meet up on here, and he's a lovely fella. Right then, I'm going to shut up, I'm going to get on with the fishing. I'll show you my dead baits when I've finished, and then after that we'll come back on to Drinkwater Park and hopefully catch some pike on dead baits. I mean, the last one we had a fish on, but I lost it, and very stupidly I checked the hooks afterwards rather than beforehand, and they were a bit blunt. So this time I've got my hook file out, and they are, I tell you what, oof, you could do surgery, they're so sharp. So obviously sometimes Just got to get the basics right. It's bad, isn't it? Anyway, happy days. Let's crack on. It's freezing. It's 3 degrees centigrade. Or if you're in USA language, it's about, I don't know, 34 degrees Fahrenheit. I just struggled this morning catching some live or dead baits. Well, live at the time, dead now. I think I was an idiot. Well, I know I was an idiot. I took a 4 metre whip instead of a 7 metre whip, and I couldn't get to the bottom of the depth where all the fish were. They were a bit further out in deeper water, so I had a real struggle. I'll put a picture in right now. Beep, edit, and back out again. There we go. Welcome back. I caught 3 or 4 fish that size. Absolute, too tiny to be dead baits. They went back, and that's all I could catch. I caught 1 decent roach, and as I lifted, I should have netted it, but I'm an idiot. I should have netted it, and it dropped off back in the water. Thankfully, my friend Phil, not my normal friend Phil, my abnormal friend Phil, the other one, Phil Mees, he was there, and he caught five roach, and we banged them on the head, and I took them home, and I used them this afternoon. They're out there, under that bung, and that bung, and I sat there for the last 2 hours while I've been live streaming, and I've not had a touch. So on Wednesday when I was fishing, I got a run, and the fish, I struck and felt the fish, and then it dropped off, and I put that down to me again being an idiot and action on the right hand rod. That's gone. Oh, as we're talking, hang on. It's gone. Right, I'm going to turn off, and I'll join me back in. Now look at that. That's a rarity on my channel, isn't it? Oh, Pico. Just there we go. Just in the corner of its mouth. Oh, wow! At long last. Right, let's get this thing unhooked, and then we'll let it go. Look at that. Oh, I love it. Don't you love Mr. Pike? Hey. He's about what? On a good day, £4. But I'm pleased with that. Brilliant. There we go. Ooh. That's a bit better. At long last, it's taken me a while. But we'll get it back in. There we go. Just one way round in the net. There we go. Come on, off you swim. There we go. And away. Yay! And there's me just thinking, oh, shall I pack up or shall I stay for another half hour? And delighted. Hey, El Blanco, let's caught a fish. Thank you. I know you said you're welcome then, or I hope you said, well done, Mike, you've done a good job. Right then, that's warmed my fingers up. I was freezing a minute ago, and I was telling you a story about having a struggle this morning to catch some dead baits. Well, we managed that. They were very generously donated by Phil Mees, so I couldn't catch my own. So really, Phil Mees has got a share in that fish, because his bait caught that pike. But I'm pleased with that. And that was on the rig that I used on Wednesday, where the hook pulled because they were blunt, so I properly sharpened these ones up. Oh, big gust of wind's just coming. Pick up my rubbish. I sharpened them up before I came out today with a hook sharpener, and that's obviously made a difference, because that, as you see, it didn't get off. I love it. I love a good pike. Oh. Right, another half an hour. I've got more baits. Another one on. Let's see what happens. So hang on, I'll just stamp. That's what it all looks like. My chair. There's my GoPro, because I started doing go live now. I bought myself a GoPro, going live fishing on a regular basis, and I'll just use the old Aldi seat there, rucksack. Oh, I'm pleased with that. That's a lovely fish. Oh, I'm going to use it as the thumbnail to this video. Anyway, that's that. What's going to come next? Who knows? More waffle. You like waffle? Thingy me dangers, jiggy me junk, jiggy me bum, jiggy me things, and look at that February skies. It's gone 5 o'clock now. Goes dark at 6. I don't know how much longer I'm going to last. Looks lighter there, doesn't it? But, if you look up there, I can see the moon. That's out. Looks darker down that end. It's freezing cold here. Put me GoPro away now. I enjoyed that. It's about time I caught a fish. I was gutted that I lost that one on Wednesday in the previous episode. I ended up with a blank. It was my own fault for having blunt hooks, and now I've redeemed myself. But I think that's going to be it. I'm going to fish for another 20 minutes. I'm not going to keep dragging this section out of this video. I'm going to call it a day and let you off and put you out of your misery, and we're going to come back in the magic of the internet in a second and we're going to come back to the River Irwell on Sunday. So here we go. This is this afternoon's little session, a couple of hours before I pick the kids up from school on the lovely River Irwell again. It's only about a mile downstream of where I've been doing the recent live streams. It's my fishing club water. I've got no idea what I'm going to get. There's a little bit of everything in here. There's pike, perch, chub, trout, grayling, loads of smaller stuff as well, dace and roach, perch. So we'll get the old lure rod out and we'll have a couple of hours, which I'll condense into 15 minutes, fishing on the Irwell, which is the easy one for me because obviously it's nearest to my house. So up behind me there's the old racecourse pub, so you know where I am if you want to look up where I'm fishing on Google Maps, and you join me in a minute. I'll stick the old head cam on and you can join me for a couple of casts in this pool underneath the bridge. See you in a minute. There we go. So this is what the view's like from underneath the bridge. 4 arches. You can fish 3 of the arches. That first arch there is always too shallow. It's just stagnant water under there. Or not stagnant, but you know what I mean. Still. I built some new houses on the far bank recently, but look at that crud all the way along the back. Look at this. Look at this. Is what we have to put up with on urban rivers in the north of England. Look at that. That is all wet wipes, and this whole bank is absolutely plastered with them. And you see that tree there through the arch of the bridge, absolutely covered in crud and plastic. Sewage, litter, plastic bags. It's not just the wastewater industry. There's loads and loads of junk on this foreshore here, or on this berm. All sorts of stuff. Bread baskets, sacks, tyres, bits of machinery, you name it. Look, there's the old laughing gas canisters. It's horrible, isn't it? This is how people treat the rivers. And miraculously, fish can survive in this, and hopefully I'll catch one today, because it's not always guaranteed on the Irwell. It's a difficult river. The fish are few and far between, but when you catch one, it's extra special. Anyway, let's get this head cam on. Let's get tackled up, and let's have a few casts. Right then, I don't know how well you can hear the sound because I know I'm the little action cam, but I'm going to start off. Where's my finger gone? There. We'll start off. We'll walk onto that little berm there and fish the second arch to our right. Then we'll fish the pool. So I'll fish under the bridge to begin with, then I'll fish the pool here, close in. I'll move on to this berm here, fish this run as well, here, and then move over and fish that deeper, slower water on the far bank, and then fish that run again, then come back onto this bank, down through all this horrible tipping, I don't know what we call it, river fly tipping, and I'll fish the pool going downstream, as we'll see. Anyway, let's crack on. I've got a lure on. I've not had a first cast yet, so let's just put this on my head, and we'll show you what tackle, when I get out there I'll show you what tackle I'm using. But for the time being, whoops, a daisy, we'll go through all of this crap. What the hell? Oh, don't you love first casts of a new fishing session? The first couple of casts, it's like all the anticipation. You've not quite settled into your fishing room. Oh, sorry, fishing rhythm. You've not quite got your mojo and your rhythm going, but every cast you make, you anticipate you might catch a fish. I love it. So there's a big back eddy under this bridge. There's a current against the far wall and it swirls round and actually goes back up. And I'm just fishing through the back eddy first and working my way towards that current. I'm fishing light, so I've got a this 5 centimetre lure white paddle tail, and it's got an SSG on it. Which is, I'm not sure how many grams an SSG is. I'm a bit rubbish. I think it's 3.2. And that's, at the moment, seems to be working fine to get me where I want to. As the line comes off the spool and gets wet and gets cast a few times, it starts to peel off a bit better. It's a size 2 weedless hook, a 5 centimetre lure. And that SSG is the weight. And I'm using 6 pounds fluoro, which is sufficient for anything. I'm not using wire trace because it will severely limit the amount of fish that might be interested in taking it. But if I start getting bitten off by pike, and there are pike here, then I will. I've got some traces in my bag. I'll swap over to a wire nylon coated trace. So, first half a dozen casts, not a sausage. But so what? So there's still about, I don't know, maybe 30 to 40 centimetres of water, 15 inches of extra water in the river because it's still winter conditions. The best or optimum height on the gauge, on the river monitoring gauge at what's called Manchester Racecourse, which is what this used to be behind me, is 0.8 metres, and I can think today we're on 1.1 metres. So there's a little bit of extra water. There's not much extra colour in it. There's not much extra colour, but there's certainly extra volume, extra depth. Right, last cast here, and then we'll go and have a mooch across to the far side. It's a pity I didn't bring a wading staff with me, because it's always a bit deeper than you think, and always the pressure of the water is always a bit stronger. You don't give the you've got to give the river quite a bit of credit for the power of the flow against your legs. But let's see how we get on. As long as you can sit, look, it's nice clean gravel, wading with the flow. I don't think it's going to come up too much above knee height. Here we go. I could have a cast in this actually. Let's have a go. It's quite a good pressure against my legs, to be honest with you. Just up near that bush on the bridge stanchion of cast 2. Oh, the water's cold. It's February, 4 degrees outside. She's in old money, 36 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. So that takes us through the deepest bit, and now we're just going to start shallowing up towards this island here. There we go. There's all sorts of bits of broken pottery and stuff in this river. One day I've got an underwater camera. I'll get my underwater camera out one day and we'll have a look and see what there is. There's all sorts of weird stuff. But now we're going to have a fish of this faster pool here. Or we could have a walk. We're going to do that first. We're going to have a walk across this shallow, the ridge. The tail of the pool is always the shallowest, and this is a nice, easy, safe walk across here. So you can see how clean the water is. I hope I can see it perfectly. I don't know how it will come out on the camera. So we'll have one cast back into this pool. Look at that graffiti. You can tell you're in town now. The pub's boarded up, and the pub wall's covered in graffiti. And if you see up there, you can just about start seeing now the big weir. It's a really big weir up there, and I've never ever, I've caught fish in this pool, but I've spent quite a bit of time in that weir pool, and I've never ever caught anything apart from snags. Right, this is the last cast in this pool. If they're having it, they're having it, and if they're not having it, then you can stand here for hours and they ain't going to change their mind. If they're there. Right then. Let's have a dabble in here and see how we do. That's better. The fish they like a bit of structure, don't they? There we go. Come on, fishes. It's lovely being out. I've got a couple of hours free now, and so I have to pick my daughter up at 3:15 from primary school. Sometimes she's happy to come home on her own with her friends, and sometimes she wants daddy. Do you know what? And that's fair enough, isn't it? She's not even 10 yet. She's just beginning to find her own mojo and her own personality, which is lovely. And she's got some nice little friends, because that's really important. You know how bitchy girls can be. It's nice to have a nice group of friends. So there we go. Just all we need is really, we're going to cover a bit of distance today. The fish are either having it or they're not having it, or they're here or they're not here. So you only need a couple of casts in each spot, and move on, and we can cover plenty of ground because there's some quite good water to cover in this section of river in the next mile downstream, we can call it. So I don't know how much of that I'm going to get covered today, but we'll see. Right, one more cast in this pool and then we've done it. Can you see it down there? I hope I'm at the right angle. You never know. Right, let's go back. Ooh, across the... Get me... Nice and cold feet again through this. Oh, it's cold, this water. Look at that, that's that massive lorry tyre in on the Irwell. Can you see that? Call it a habitat island. So if I lift that up, underneath there will be loads and loads of bullheads and stone roach, I hope. There normally is. Right then, let's try this water here. Stand back a bit so we don't spook them, and we'll cast into that white water there. There we go. And see if there's anything living in this faster water. As I say, there's quite a lot of different species. There's a good variety of species. There's not many fish in the Irwell, but there is a good variety of species. There we go, right into that fastest water, and then we have to drag it through this side slack. Because we know the fish just like to sit on the side of the crease, don't they? But if you cast it like in a similar way to sort of like a wet fly, and you can do a bit of a down and across, the fish will take it on the swing, you hope. So it's the same principle as traditional wet fly fishing. There we go, keep going. I'll put my gloves on in a minute. Oh, it's cold, is the description. My hands are going to go blue. I've got some fingerless gloves to put on, so I've got no idea what the sound quality's like. I'm learning this videoing game. It's for somebody who's a bit old-fashioned and not very good on the old technology like me. It's hard, but it's good fun learning something new, isn't it? 58, learning a new skill. I do intend to do a lot more videos in 2025, so no doubt I will do my best, because I do my best, up my game, learn some new skills. Let's cast right through that crease down there at the two tongues of water meeting, and just see if there's anything in that patch there, that turbulent patch. But thankfully in this video, as you've already seen, I've caught a nice pike from Drinkwater Park. So it's not a blankety blank video, which some of them are. It's tough at this time of the year, and do you know what, there's no shame and there's no point hiding it, is there? It is what it is. If you catch, you catch. If you don't catch, well, there's no shame in not catching, because the enjoyment, as we all know, is actually going fishing. Now, can you see in the distance there, just as the river turns around the bend, there used to be a bridge there, and I said, oh, I thought I had a bite then, probably the bottom. The bridge there collapsed many years ago. It was the bridge for the entrance to the racecourse, and I think when they closed the racecourse and moved the turnstiles from this area to the other side, they dismantled the bridge to stop people getting in for free. But the stanchion's still in the middle, and there's a deep run near that stanchion, and the Palomine a few years ago had a pike just nudging £20 from that swim. So there are some decent fish in this river. I've had trout to £9 from this section in the past. I've had chub to £4. It's all good fun, isn't it? Right, we'll keep moving and we'll recross this bit of water. And we'll go, well, let's have a look, just here will do. We'll take our time, face upstream. And you thought, didn't you, when I showed you that picture off the top of the bridge and from the top of the bank, you thought, oh, what a fantastic bit of river. And it is, but there's not always fish here, because a lot of this water is from the wastewater company. There we go, made that across. Just touched the top of my knees. And you have to remember, I am tall, 6 foot, God knows what. So for the water to touch the top of my knees, it's up to one or two of my pals, it's nearly up to the waist. But you can see here the water's much shallower. I'll give it a go. This would be where I'd be looking for fish in the summer, in the highly oxygenated water. But this time of the year I've got a feeling the fish are going to be down there in the pools. But on the basis of in it to win it, you just never know, do you? It's worth a couple of casts. Whoop. See, what day? It's a Thursday today. That's going to be nice. I'll get this video out tonight, I think. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day. So, oh, look, it's a crutch. There's all sorts of crap here, isn't there? You name it. Don't know what that is, that bit of metal work there. We've got road works, we've got inner tubes, tyres, you name it. Oh, look at that tree. Shocking. Right then, let's keep wading out. Oh, my feet are cold. My feet are cold. Right, this will do now. There's a pocket of deeper water over there. Up we go. So we cast into that before from slightly upstream. Give it a go from this angle now. Come on, fishy fishes. I've got a white lure on at the moment, so clear and white. Obviously it's not done anything as of yet. It's had about 30 swims, hasn't it? In a minute I'll change it for a black sparkly one, sort of see-through but black, so like that transparent but black with a little bit of sparkling, and just change the colour, because they might not be interested in something that's garish and white like this. And it's good to keep swapping. So I fished this last summer, this swim, I fished it with a maggot feeder last summer, and I got dozens and dozens of little dace, and the swim feeder would be only in the flow for about 20 seconds, rat-a-tat-tat, and then those maggots would be absolutely shredded and sucked dry. Hey, look at that. We're not on the Tweed or the River Wye now, are we? Blooming heck. It's grim. But there are some good fish. Hopefully, soon, one day on this channel, we'll catch something special. But it was good, that pike that I had 15 minutes ago, if you rewind. I enjoyed catching that one. Nice chunky fish at this time of the year. They're all a bit fat, aren't they, at this time of the year? Female pike. February. They spawn, well, I do know when they spawn. They tend to spawn on the lakes around here in the first week of April. First and second week of April. And everyone says, oh, pike spawn earlier than that. Well, on the lake that I manage for our fishing club, and I fish it all the way through the spring for tench and early carp, the number of times I've watched the pike doing their spawning dance, and I've never ever seen them doing it in March. So I mean, it's different in different places, different parts of the country, different weather conditions, but I think a lot of the time the fish run on length of daylight and temperature for their spawning horniness. Right, we're gonna pack up here, and because we are on a time schedule, we will go and have a couple of casts around that bridge. There we go, we'll just get that. 5 casts around that bridge. I'm going to change lure when we get, before we cast in again. Look at this. It's terrible, isn't it? Look at the state of that. And it's like this. You're going to see it's like this all the way along the river here. This entire riverbank is made out of sand and wet wipes from the sewage works. It's pigging awful. I don't know why I pay. Well, I don't know why anybody pays them, to be honest with you. You pay to get your sewage treated, and all they do is tip it directly into the river every time it rains, and then say it's not our fault, we don't have enough money. But they do, because they pay out massive amounts to shareholders. Here we go. So this is what I've been using. This is the lure that I've just been using. Can you see that? That's the SSG white and clear lure. The size 2, it's a bit steep, this bank. The size 2 weedless. I'm going to change in a minute to that one, the green and gold one there. This little focus. You see, £6 line. Got a few already set up there, ready to go. And if we can't start getting bothered by pike, I've got these little lures there and a big orange weedless, and that's when there was a bit more water colour in the water. I tend to use that. Rod wise, there we go. It's like a 7-foot thing I bought off eBay, which I don't really like, and a little Daiwa Ninja size 1500, and that does the trick. So you know what I'm using. Now you know probably what not to buy. Whoa, look at that camera, what a load of rubbish. I really am. There we go. I really am not very good at this malarkey yet, but I'm going to become better. Just like the more I go fishing, even on 58, and I've been fishing since I was 4, the more you go, the better you become, and the luckier you get. So let's hope I become better, let's hope I become luckier, and let's hope for your sake, the viewers, my pals who are watching out here, that my video editing and making skills improve too. Right then, we're going to put on that green and gold lure, the darker one, and have a few casts with that and see how we get on, and make our way downstream round those bends towards the church spire in the distance. See you in a minute. Oh dear. I tell you what, I can feel every one of those 4 degrees in my toes. Look at that, what a lovely bit of river this is, and it's so disgusting, isn't it, how people treat it. So disgusting how people treat this poor river. Just get on that tight to that far bank, drag it across this vast tongue of water. Now in the summer the fish love this fast water, highly oxygenated, gives them a boost. The predators can't go fishing it, the cormorants can't keep up with that, so the fish sit in this faster water. But maybe not today. You never know, do you? That's the whole thing with fishing, you never know. In it to win it.